Happy Friday. Okay. I need to put the topics that we are going to vote on for next week's MTF school in the comment and pin a comment. I'm going to figure out how to pin a comment. Okay. Next week's options for MTF school. Please comment your vote. 1, vocal feminization. Sorry guys, I'm just typing. Hi Autumn. Vocal feminization resources. 2, gender affirming makeup tips. 3, hair and brow styling for social transition. 4, choosing outfits / color theory. Oh, it's only gonna give me so many. 5, skincare. Oh my gosh. I have too many characters. Choose outfits. Okay, it cuts off, but you get the point. Let me figure out how to pin this. Pin. Okay. All right. Welcome to study hall. Just gonna wait for a couple more people to jump in, and then we'll get started. While we wait for people to jump in, we are going to play the actual non-instrumental version of this new song. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. This is Drag Queen Internet Hooker by my friend Parcher. It just came out today. Please check it out at It's Parcher. All right. Alex taught me that this is supposed to help with dissociation. So I'm going to try this. All right. Well, I'm going to get started. So, the pinned comment. We are voting on next week's MTF school topic. These were suggestions from the MTF school gang in Discord, and I'm going to take a tally of how many people vote for. The first choice with the most votes is going to be what I actually put out next week, and then I'll also film the second and third choices as backup, which may come out another week if I am not able to go live or something. So please check out the comment, and you can do like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 in the comments. 5 was supposed to be skincare routine, but I ran out of characters, and yeah. So yeah. And I am going to be doing my makeup as well. And I'm going to start with, I need to do my hair, but I also want to make sure I'm taking a tally of the selections for next week. Okay. Today is June 5th. Topic, vote. Also, today's lesson was on electrolysis and laser hair removal. So if you have any questions on your homework, feel free to ask. Or if there's something you want to talk about relating to that topic, we're all ears. So, all right. So the options again for next week. Number 1, vocal feminization resources. Like places you can go to get information about voice training. Because I've done a few like tutorials on voice training, but kind of like promoting some external resources, I guess what the request was. The second one was gender affirming makeup for beginners. Especially for like gender dysphoria. The third option is styling hair and brows for early social transition. Number 4 is how to choose an outfit and color coordinating them. Color coordination. And number 5 is skincare routine. So if you're in here and you have any suggestions on which one, or if you've a preference on what next week's MTF school lesson should be, please comment a number between 1 and 5. And I will be keeping track. So, now that that is out of the way, I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And I want to say hi to everyone who's here on Instagram. And I also want to say hi to everyone who's going to be watching this recorded on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, if you're one of the YouTube girls, please come over to Instagram. Follow me at aj.offthehook. And we'd love for you to join us on Friday nights from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be here until 10 on the dot. So I'm just gonna hang out, and then if people have questions or if you want to talk about different aspects of your transition, things that you have questions about or are struggling with or need feedback from other girls, please share. Sharing is caring. And I'm just going to be doing my makeup as well so that I have something to do with my hands. And then once we are done voting and after 10 o'clock, I will film the top 3 options for next week's topic. So also, Autumn, thank you. If you're still here, thank you so much for being here last week. It's been great having you in the Discord. And if there's any other girls here who, on YouTube or on Instagram, who want to be part of our support group Discord, just, like, do a hand waving emoji or, like, be like, hi, I would like to be added. And then, the powers that be will evaluate you to be a real person. And then, you know, kind of make sure that you'd be in the group for the right reasons. And then next steps from there. So again, it's not something I post publicly because I really want to keep it a safe space. And I have a few girls who are moderators who are kind of helping keep it a safe space. And I very, 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 very much appreciate that. So I'm going to swallow my own saliva first. Yeah, we can also start, that's the wall. We could also start by, tell me, how was your week? Happy Pride Month. And are you doing any Pride events this weekend? Tomorrow I am going to see The Mandalorian and Grogu, with Mike's family, my boyfriend Mike, and I am very, very excited for that. And then we're gonna get Mexican food, I think. It's I only have 2 more filming weekends for the podcast for this season, which is crazy, but also we've been filming since the first week of February, so I am so ready for a break. And we have some really great guests lined up for season 3, so I'm ready to take some time off and then start getting that ready. And yes, okay, so if you girls are here for MTF school, I also have a podcast called The Will of the Hunted. We do cover a lot of trans topics, but it's also very much about like trauma healing and kind of like the real life struggles. You know, it's kind of a little less like hyper produced and like kind of satire. It is very kind of like just real conversations about tough topics with cool people. So please check that out. It's at The Will of the Hunted. We have new episodes every Tuesday, except for next Tuesday, where I'm gonna take a little pause to get ready for the end of the season. We have 5 episodes left for the season. My friend Cass is coming out. Hers is coming out Tuesday, and she's talking about starting to book consults for surgery. She's talking about getting her name legally changed in a purple state. She's talking about electrolysis and laser hair removal, and she's also a leather worker, costume designer for the Ren Fair community. So that will be really fun. That'll be on Tuesday. So that's going to be a good one for the girls. The one that came out this week was Ivory Soar. If you know her here on Instagram, she's an amazing creator. She is kind of in the same circle of like, if you follow Afra from Trans Ed Tuesday, she kind of was like the mutual who I kind of networked with and then brought onto the show. And she talked about coming out and finding her own life out apart from her family and not getting the support she needs from her family, and talking about how much fun she has making content and making reels, and what her favorite video games are that inspire those reels as well. So please check out Ivory's episode, which is on The Will of the Hunted. It just came out on Tuesday. Link is in my bio to the Will of the Hunted page and also to the YouTube. So, and Alex, one of the moderators and one of the girls who's really been like instrumental in building the Discord and building out these resources, suggested that I keep a drink with me and take a drink and like a deep breath every like 5 minutes. I also worked today and then had a caffeine pill about like a half an hour ago, so I am wired. I'm gonna have a whole symphony of heart palpitations. I also really finally pulled the trigger on getting straws, reusable straws, because I do a lot with lipstick these days, and I think dehydration, because I'm worried about messing up my lipstick, is not the correct choice, especially when I'm, you know, spending 3 hours on live every Friday night. So I got some really cute reusable straws. Yeah. It's Friday. I'm a cashier at a drugstore. That's my my day job, and I was half and half as a pharmacy tech, and then decided that wasn't for me. So today I was putting away inventory, putting away all the food shipments that come in on our truck every week. And then I did register for a bit this afternoon. And my funny story from today is my retail story of the week, I guess, is I was up at the register with another cashier, and this old guy was with my coworker and handed him a couple ones to pay for like something, and he was like, "Oh, the ones are stuck together. It must be mating season or something." And I looked over and went, and then just like carried on, because like, what the fuck. But that's the life of being a woman in retail, is, you know, men making really creepy jokes. So, yeah. But overall, it's been a pretty good week at work. So we did hire someone else who is now trained on register. So I've been able to be out in the store more, which I like better. I love help. I love the regulars who are super nice at our store. I'm just gonna wait. Is that all? Okay. We're a store on the coast, pretty close to a beach, so it's a big tourist store during the summer. But we do have a lot of like regulars who are here year round, and very nice. So I love helping them. I love seeing them. But the tourists don't give a fuck, and they are so rude. So rude. So I've been enjoying being out in the store and like listening to music while I like stock shelves. So I got to do a little bit more of that since we have hired one more person to help. Otherwise, it's usually just me up front. But yeah, so what are you guys doing this weekend? What are you doing to celebrate Pride? I need to defrizz my hair. I'm going to use Garnier Fructis Curl Shape. which was $6 at CVS. And I basically spray some in my hand. And then I mix it with some water. And then I part my hair in half. And then in half again. And then I do the scrunching. Because this is like day 2 hair. So like I only wash my hair like every second or third day. So by day 2, because I have curly hair, it'll be like kind of frizzy. And then, especially with like the humidity in the summer, I get to the point where I just like brush it the fuck out dry, and then I French braid it. So this is it after being French braided, and then I'm done. So I want to bring back some of the curl with some water and some Garnier Fructis Curl Shape Defining Spray Gel. New look, shiny defined curls with no frizz. 2 stars for Stronghold, 8.5 fluid ounces. $5.99 at CVS. In aisle 7, hairstyling products. I also am getting my hair done, finally, for the first time since February next month. When I get my hair done, I don't do it myself. I go to this lady who I've been going to for like 10 years, and she has literally done my hair since before I transitioned, and she knows what the fuck she's doing. So I kind of eat it and like pay the $140. And then she does like the trim, the highlights and everything. So, but I really can only afford to do that every 6 months, like usually twice a year tops. So it's been since February, and you know, I'd like to have the highlights be brought up again. She usually puts some more in up here, and it really lightens up my face. And then she'll trim off like the kind of last inch and a half of my hair, because that's where a lot of the breakage is when I like brush it out, because like the knots get stuck on the end. So we're gonna do that. I did realize that, like, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, my roots are so dark, but then if anyone is like seeing how Slater does her hair right now, she literally has like does the same thing with her hair. Like she has like the blonde curly highlight hair, but then like dark roots. So it's like, crank it. So we're getting some curl definition back compared to that side. It's the power of water and chemicals. But yeah, so I think she really only charges me like, I think it's 120 is what I get charged for doing the full, it's like a 3-hour kind of spa day. Like I'll go in, she'll like brush my hair out, ask me what I want to do with it, and I'll be like, girl, you already know, let's just do it. So she'll brush it out, and then she'll mix up my color, and she'll do the tinfoil layering, and just kind of run the bleach solution through evenly spaced parts of my hair, and then folds them up so I look like stovetop like microwave popcorn. And then I sit under the steamer, the hat thing, for like 30 minutes, and then that helps the toner and magic of the bleach do its thing. And then she'll open them, check and see if it's actually kind of working and like lightening it up. And then she'll bring me over to the bowl and pull out all the foils, do a shampoo and toner, rinse it, put it in a towel, blow dry it, brush it out, and then straighten it, and then do the trim, because then she can see the real length, because my hair is curly. It lies. Yeah, and then she'll usually try to like, she wants to like do like the prom curls and like style it for me, and I'm usually like, no, I'll like go walk out with it wet, it's fine. And yeah, that takes about 3 hours. And sometimes she like waxes my eyebrows too. So, oh, I should split this in half. But yeah, you can definitely see where there's some like breakage. Like there's a knot that just came out. Something she recommended that I have not been like taking her advice on is like, she was like, AJ, if you straighten it once a week, the amount of heat damage that's going to do is like pretty much less than it would be for like literally try to brush the fuck out of knots constantly every day. But I've been kind of scared of using heat on my hair because I used to fry it and straighten it every day. So, but I need to do that because like the breakage is real. Like, I don't, it's hard to see with the light, but like, yeah. Oh, yeah, like this stuff. See how it like doesn't even look like a full hair anymore? Yeah, that's breakage. The only other thing with like straightening my hair though is that I would get split ends really bad, which if you don't have long hair and you're growing it out is something you will learn about. Split ends are basically like if you take the end of a hair, if it's healthy, it's going to be like smooth and strong and you can see the end of it. If you fry it with heat, that thing's gonna like split in half and like curl out and be all nasty. And then that creates even more knots when you're brushing out your hair. I really don't use heat. I air dry my hair. I don't straighten it. I don't blow dry it. So I don't really have split ends right now, but I do have just a lot of breakage from the curling. Let me see. Oh, I do have, I'll show you a split end. I know this is kind of gross, but like, I didn't know what these were when I first started transitioning and growing my hair out. I grew my hair out from a buzz cut. Okay. And like, if you have long hair and you grow it out, please don't like pull apart your split ends. It's like so gross. So it's really hard to see, but like it's, you see how it's like kind of bleh at the end? It's kind of like bleh. That means it's starting to split, which just means like the cuticle, whatever the fuck, it's like either dry or damaged, and it's, the hair is like starting to fall apart because it's damaged. But what you can do, especially if you have curly hair, is do hair masks. Like, I think my friend Mel does like henna oil, or I don't know if that's right, but I like to do like a coconut oil hair mask, and basically you just like put it in. It's like just a leave-in cream. It's all gloopy, and you just like soak your hair and then just like put it in a bun or like a bandana or something and just let it sit for a few hours, and then you wash it out, and that kind of reinforces a lot of those ends and rehydrates the hair so it's not split and like kind of falling apart. Yeah. But also like being blonde, because this isn't like my natural hair color. This is my natural hair color. Going blonde and doing highlights is bleach, and that damages your hair. So the more you do that, the more your hair is gonna split and like stop growing. Which is, you know, if you're trying to grow your hair out, bleaching the fuck out of it's not gonna help. So I used to do like platinum blonde. Like I was like, to the root. I want you to bleach my brain. Like, I want like the insides of my eyes to be like gray with how much bleach is in my head. And then, you know, I had my little teenage girl rebellious phase in college, and dyed my hair purple. And then box dyed it brown, box dyed it black. Well, tried to box dye it black. It went brown. And then my hairdresser had to fix it. And I did full black for a couple years. And then eventually I wanted to go back to blonde. So she did like several months of slow bleaching treatments to not just like fucking fry my hair. And then, you know, and then kind of continuing to tone it since there was now like brown, purple, and like all this other shit in there. And then we decided to do this thing called, she calls it a balayage, where like you do kind of natural looking highlights instead of the whole fucking head. And then when it grows out, it looks kind of natural and lived in. So it doesn't look like dark and then just like white, like the roots don't look as obvious. So, and we did like we've been doing like a honey blonde instead of like a white blonde, because I originally wanted to do like platinum, and she was like, no. So the honey blonde gives me the blonde that I like, but it's a lot less damaging for the hair. And it also blends very nicely with my natural hair color. And it doesn't take a lot to get it there with bleach. You don't have to, it's not like jet black, you know, going and then trying to go to blonde, which would just go orange. My kind of dipshit first boyfriend worked at a children's hospital and had jet black Mediterranean hair, and decided one year that he wanted to go completely like white and silver from jet black hair so that he could like, I don't know, fucking look like Santa or some shit. So he box bleached his hair and his beard, and they went like traffic cone orange. Yeah, traffic cone orange. And I think his dad made him like shave it. So like, I think he like literally like had to shave his head or cut it, most of it off, and then he had to shave his beard. It was really bad. And I was kind of like, I'm dating an idiot. Like, but, yeah, it would be it's really hard for me to go white, like with my hair. My original, actually, can I reach it? Do I have another one? My original hair inspo, I am on my phone. That's not gonna help. Let me grab Miss Galore. This is what I showed my hairdresser I wanted my hair to look like when I first transitioned. And she was like, no. Because I was like, I really want like that cunty white hair. And she was like, that is so hard to maintain. You literally have to get your roots redone every 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. How many fucking trains are gonna go by today? So I gave up on the platinum blonde at the beginning. But I could yap all night, so please feel free to jump in. If it was going the other way this time, please feel free to jump in if you have like any questions about like your transition, or just tell me how your week's going. What are you doing this weekend? So I usually wash my hair and then brush it out right before I get on live Friday nights, so that it's like the curls are like factory fresh when I film MTF School. But I kind of ran out of time tonight, so I'm just kind of reforming the curls as best I can. I forgot what else I was gonna say about that. But yeah, that's the thing about the breakage, is like the more you try to like, you can use like the curl gel and everything, but the breakage is just gonna want to do its own thing. And I think they also call it flyaways, where it's like the couple pieces of hair that just don't want to stay down with everything else, like that. So when I get the trim done, she'll literally like pull little sections and then just like use like serrated edge scissors or whatever and go down the side, down the whole length, and that kind of cleans up the breakage, I guess. Yeah, every girl's gotta like go through that journey of like trying different hair colors and stuff, you know, because God forbid I would not have been allowed to do that before I transitioned. Hell no. Like, my hair had to be like this long, and then like my mom would like cut it in the tub, and she would like buzz the sides, and then like you know, keep it to like finger length on the top, or we'd just go to a barber and have a barber do it. But usually like my mom would cut me and my twin brother's hair in the tub, like clothed, mind you, but it was just like cheap. But I started growing out my hair 10 years ago this month, because I, at this point 10 years ago, had come out to my family as trans but hadn't started transitioning yet. And I was like, okay, let's make a timeline on like when this is gonna happen. And I had to, my last haircut was right before I went to prom with one of my best friends, Mel, because I was wearing a suit or a tux or whatever, and like that was the last time I cut my hair from that length. But I was like, no more, don't touch it after that. And then I worked with that hairdresser who was recommended as someone who is welcoming to the community, and we kind of made a plan for like growing it out from literally fucking nothing. And she kind of just made sure it was trimmed and gave me tips on how to like style it. I tried like this Potion 10 stuff because I was like, if I make it look wet, it'll look longer. So I would use like way too much, basically like mousse in my hair, so my hair would be like rock hard and crunchy. Um, and then, you know, we would, and because it's so curly, like it would just go out, and it didn't have any gravity yet. Estrogen hadn't really kicked in yet, or I hadn't started estrogen at that point to where, you know, the roots will start to like mellow out, and then the hair can start like laying down flatter. So as it was growing out, I couldn't really see the length because it was so curly and always just like kind of up here. So she would straighten it, and then I could actually see like, oh my God, it's down here. It took me a year to get it to my shoulders. A year? No. A year and a half, I think, to get it from here to my shoulders. But before I came out as trans, because I started hormones and everything in secret, or like I hadn't like, I did like 3 or 4 months of hormones before coming out, so that I had like a little bit of a head start. I was like friends with all these girls in my theater class, and they didn't know yet. I hadn't come out to them yet. So they just saw that I was growing out my hair and like didn't really know why. So one day I like texted a picture to them when I was at the hairdresser and they straightened it, and I looked like Shane Dawson. And my friend Liana was like, never do that again. Never do that to your hair again. And then I had this girl in my neighborhood who would like chase me down the halls and be like, I told you to cut your hair. And, you know, the like, so. But eventually, like, when I came out, people stopped giving as much of a fuck, except the people who didn't understand why I was transitioning. Like, I literally had a couple, like, break up over me. Like, the guy was in one of my classes, and I knew the girl, she was the grade below me, and the guy, I guess, got in a fight with her over it, because he claimed that I was doing it for attention, and the girl who, like, gets the shit was like, I can't be with someone who thinks that, and like thinks that way about people. So they apparently broke up, and like we had lunch and the girl told me. So a true ally, might I add. And I think there was like a JROTC meeting about how to talk about trans people. Because I think there was a lot of discussion about what bathroom I was going to be using at school. And my plan that my parents made with the school was that I would use the staff bathrooms, which were like single stall and like lock and key. But you know, I didn't fucking announce that to the entire school, so everyone was just like even my friend, I think my friend Matt was like on the varsity baseball team, and he said on the bus people were talking about it and like what bathroom I was going to use, and it was just like, because I was the first person I know of who took hormones and medically transitioned and legally changed my name and everything while I was like a student. I had a couple friends who were like kind of half out as trans and like socially transitioning, but like having to like legally change everything kind of like forced the school to kind of figure out the infrastructure for like, you know, other girls who came after me and would come out and transition. I was, I think, the first in my town. I was in a high school of like 500 people. So yeah, I just used the staff bathrooms because I was too scared of, you know, getting beat up in the boys' room or getting bullied out of the girls' room. So I just used the staff bathrooms, and then also I would eat lunch alone in classrooms with teachers who were safe, instead of, you know, going and sitting alone in the cafeteria while everyone's talking about me. So, you know, me and the kid who I played soccer with before I transitioned, who had a double concussion during soccer and like couldn't handle the loud noises of the cafeteria, the two of us, we would eat together in like, you know, some random classroom, and I had some company, and that was nice. But I came out March of 2017 and I graduated from high school in June. So I didn't want like that's why I was like still like I hadn't come out, or I tried to get through most of my senior year without coming out because I knew it was going to be hell, because I went to a really like small town school in rural Maine. So I figured I could make it 3 months and then graduate, and even that was a lot, but I did it. And I walked with the girls, and a lot of people didn't recognize me at that point. I got most changed in the yearbook. Because my senior pictures I took in September of 2016, and then I started hormones in October. So when the yearbook came out in April, I was already like 2 or 3 months on estrogen, and like already like very changing. But yeah, I don't know. Transitioning in high school was crazy, and it was very lonely. But I did have some other friends who were trans, but their families were not supportive and not giving them the same level of like support. Like, you know, we have in Bangor, we had the Mabel Wadsworth Center, which is a like women's clinic, and they do hormone replacement therapy. But like one of my friends is a trans man, and he like his family wouldn't let him go there because they performed abortions there or something. It's just like some shit like that, and so that's why he couldn't get fucking hormones and go there. But yeah, so I think he started getting on hormones after getting out of high school, I think. That was kind of the tea for like a lot of us, like small town kids, was like getting out of high school and then, you know, getting a job and transitioning. I was very, very, very privileged and lucky to have the support of my parents and the support of the school administration. And I also, I think I mentioned in a reel, and I mentioned on live last week, but I did go to trans support camps starting my senior year, and they had representatives come out and like do like a workshop with the staff and be like, hey, you know, this is new for everyone. Matt is going to be going by AJ, legal name Alice, but nickname AJ, kind of meeting in the middle, something kind of gender neutral. And, you know, please refer to her by she, her pronouns. If you see people bullying her or like talking about what bathroom she's going to use, like step in and be like, hey, this is a safe space. It's supposed to be. And there's like literally like anti-discrimination laws in Maine that protect my ability to do that. And I heard that like one staff member laughed, but everyone else was like pretty much on board, even if they didn't understand it, which is very, very nice. So, you know, I was able to kind of like check in with teachers the first week that I came out and was like, you know, they were like kind of making sure I was okay. You know, they were kind of telling me if they were hearing conversations from other places, and, you know, keeping me informed. So that helped. But, yeah. I just was like, I fucking hated high school in general, but then, like, transitioning, because I was very, like, straight passing. I mean, like, people close around me kind of knew I was gay at that point, but, like, in general, I was straight passing and still playing sports. I completely dropped out of sports my senior year. I played soccer. I was on JV soccer freshman, sophomore, and junior year. I tried to get into the basketball team. I didn't make JV freshman or sophomore year. So I got to be the manager and, like, get people water and shit. And then I stopped doing that. I did indoor track and outdoor track because then I could hang out with girls and, like, kiki. And then, but then I did shot put because I didn't like running, and that was a very masculine, gender, like, very dysphoric thing. But, oh yeah, where I was going with that is, but when I knew I was going to come out my senior year, I dropped out of every sport because I would have had to go through the Maine Principals Association and, like, kind of appeal why I needed to play with the women, with the girls. And then I would have had, like an angry mob with, like, pitchforks, you know, trying to, like, run me out of the school if I did that. So I just, as much as I loved, you know, soccer and basketball, I just dropped out. And, you know, that sucked, but it was not worth it. It was not worth the additional scrutiny. It was not worth the additional bullying. But I've, like, never really felt comfortable or welcome in, like, gym or athletic spaces since then. So, have I been talking for an hour? Holy shit. Okay. So yeah, that was my coming out experience in high school. It was, in terms of people changing name and pronouns, most people were very good. Most people could use AJ. It was going to be a huge stretch for everyone to call me Alice, so I decided to go by AJ first to kind of make it easier for everyone, and then it just stuck. But a lot of people were able to call me AJ, but still misgendered me, and that kind of took a while. And then I had some, like, kind of close family members have a really hard time changing my name when talking to me or talking about me, because they were kind of grieving it like they were losing a brother or a grandson or whatever. So I had to be very patient and lots of gentle reminders, and it was very frustrating, especially when I was out, you know, at school and stuff, and, like, then, you know, people, like, continuing to use the wrong name and pronouns felt like it was kind of delegitimizing my transition when everyone else was, like, trying to. So I had to be very patient, but eventually, after, like, 5 or 6 months, people were pretty much, like, and also seeing the visual changes, people were like, oh, AJ, blah, 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 AJ. But yeah, that was, like, a huge I was under a fucking microscope when I came out in high school. So when I, decided to go to college in Boston, I was like, I'm going to go to Boston and try to pass as much as I possibly can and not have to deal with the scrutiny of being trans. So I started college stealth, and I lived in an all-girls dorm, and I was very nervous about that because I had to use group bathrooms. And I hadn't had surgery yet. I didn't have orchiectomy until after my sophomore year. And I didn't have neovaginoplasty until right after I graduated my senior year. So I had like one kind of big-ish scare where I was like showering in like the girls' showers. By the way, girls' bathrooms are so much fucking nastier than guys' bathrooms. Take it from me. Girls are so gross. But it's also like the hair clogging up the drains, and like I just didn't know that girls were like messier than guys. But I had some girl kind of like FaceTime her mom and like show the bathrooms, and she's like, la, 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 like opening all the curtains and like showing her, and I was like fucking in one of them, and like she opened the curtain and I was like, and that scared the fuck out of me, because I was like, I really hope she didn't see anything. I was really worried about like being outed. Not that that would have really been a problem at Northeastern, but yeah. So yeah, so I got my fresh start, and I was stealth until I just didn't want to be anymore, and that was a battle and a half with my first boyfriend, who, you know, enjoyed that I was stealth and didn't want his parents to think that he wasn't straight. So I've been putting water in my hair for an hour. The power of dissociation and no time awareness. But I've been ranting so much. If you guys have any questions about your transition or things you want to talk about, please jump in. I'm just rambling. I was gonna do makeup. Right. Also, please vote on next week's topic. The pinned comment has options 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Just comment like which number you want for next week, and then the top choice will actually be next week's lesson, next week's chapter, and then the second and third top choices will be filmed as well, but like may come out at another time. Oh, I stopped actually using the curl gel with the water. That's why it's not. I don't want to talk about it. I've just been putting water in my hair for an hour, and it's just dried and not done anything because I haven't been putting the curl fucking cream in it. Oh. Yeah, I don't know how much I've actually like talked in like a long form sense about coming out in high school. So I'm glad that this will be up on my YouTube later tonight and a resource for other girls who may be coming out and still living at home or whatever. Because it's been 10 years. And, you know, I really could take for granted my life now with like at least being trans, because all of the like things that like, you know, people ask me about, like it can kind of feel like old news to me, like, oh yeah, I've been there, done that, but like, you know, those are like things that I really like struggled with and had to figure out, and you know, so Autumn asked me last week why I started MTF school, and you know, that's a big reason why, is like having been transitioning for 10 years, like I've made a lot of mistakes, and I've, you know, had a lot of like aha moments that I feel like would be really valuable for other people to hear. Because especially like in our Discord, like one girl just celebrated like her first week on hormones. And I'm like, girl, you're at the beginning. Like, that is so cool. So I'm trying to, you know, dig into the deep archive and, you know, help whoever I can. So, like, honestly, it's kind of sad, but like not funny. It's kind of sad that like once like the big trauma happened in college, the big struggle of my life wasn't being trans anymore. And like that kind of like got pushed to the back. So that really hasn't been the focus, at least for me, kind of doing The Will of the Hunted starting that last summer. That was my goal. Like I mentioned in the MTF school, like what's inspired me to start Real. And, I was just kind of making videos and sharing, stories about my transition. And then I got a little scared when like those started doing really well, because then I was like, oh shit, maybe people don't even want like a trauma podcast. Like maybe people just want like haha hee hee trans stories. So when I officially started branding it MTF School, I was like, I really hope this doesn't like overshadow everything I try to do with The Will of the Hunted. And it didn't. It became its own thing, and it became a separate thing, and it's kind of like my accidental pregnancy, and I kept it because pro-life. I'm just kidding. Cut that. No, I have 2 kids. I have The Will of the Hunted and I have MTF School, and they're my 2 children, and I love them equally. I was only expecting 1 baby when I went to the hospital, and another egg got stuck somewhere down the pipe, and what is it called when they like grow outside the uterus? That's MTF School. And also I think what we've noticed, Mike and I have like noticed, is that we've created a very beautiful pipeline where like people, kind of stop scrolling on like the Jennifer Coolidge accent or whatever, and then, kind of check out my page and like kind of get to know me as a person beyond like the character and the MTF School stuff. And then they see like all the stuff I'm reposting about The Will of the Hunted, and then, there's like the pipeline, and then, suddenly, I've had a lot of girls be like, oh, I've listened to every episode of the podcast from kind of seeing me on MTF School. And like, that makes me so happy. Like, it wasn't, I didn't have to have a favorite child. I didn't have to like Cain and Abel one of them with a rock. Like, it just was a spectrum. And the girls start somewhere on the spectrum, and, gender's a spectrum. MTF School to The Will of the Hunted. Come for the Jennifer Coolidge impression, and stay for the deep conversations about trauma healing. And I think that's beautiful. I think I've been doing the same piece of hair for I don't know how long, so I'm going to start doing makeup now. Y'all are very quiet tonight, but thank you for hanging out. Please let me know if there's anything you want to talk about or have questions about or anything. Otherwise, I'll just keep yapping. I didn't even get to makeup last week. I was like kind of an emotional wreck and was like, I'm just gonna show up and see what happens. And then we ended up having kind of like a support group with the girls on live, and then I ended up just like not filming. So this week I really need to do filming. I really need to do my makeup. I need to get some videos in the bank. Okay. I'm going to rinse the curl spray off of my forehead. And then I'm going to grab lotion from my nightstand. Excuse me 1 second. Because you always want to start with moisturizer before you do makeup. Not only does it make your skin happy, but it also gives it something to stick to, because I don't use primer because like I have sensitive skin. Primer like makes me break out AF. I also don't do like full coverage foundation. So speaking of, one of the topic choices for next week is about skincare. What is this? Sorry, I just saw a request to join. Oh, hey, Ahab. I think I'd probably prefer to do like like kind of like a offline, like face-to-face call before kind of just opening the live, if that's okay with you. Just because just need to be protective. I dissociated. What's new? Okay, I did lotion. But thank you for watching, and thank you for joining. I think in general, I'm just like probably not gonna do like join lives unless it's like kind of like a special guest thing. Just to kind of keep it predictable and safe for the girls. Yeah. You know. So I'm going to start with some concealer. I am so pasty, maybe not during the summer, that I literally will use concealer as foundation. Get you a girl who can use concealer as foundation. Wait, no, I'm pastier than my concealer. That's crazy. So we have this e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer from CVS. Price tag $8. I don't remember. My friend Callie helped me match my foundation because I literally have no idea how. And she ate with that. It matches. So what I do now is I take my sponge and I do the little ship in a bottle and let that bitch give it a spin. Water helps kind of blend out makeup easier versus like just kind of smearing around dry. So you gotta squeeze the juice out of that puppy. That almost sounded weird. Sometimes I say things without thinking. And then I'm gonna do my T-zone. I always do under my eyes, because my eyes are always purple from crying and not sleeping. So I always have to do concealer. And I do a little bit here and here. And then like that. You want to look like a really shitty Picasso. But then you grab your beauty blender. And then we're going to dab. We're just going to dab. It's usually nice to get like a hair clip or something. Pull your hair out of the way. You know, you want those like sharp corners of your forehead to be just like so accessible. And then you kind of go through this phase where you don't really look like a human for a couple minutes, but trust, it's gonna turn around. Because you're kind of creating a blank canvas. And then you add the color back in. But the other thing that you should do is, if you are always like flushing and like having like your ears turn red, if you don't bring the highlighter over to your ears, you're gonna look like a Victorian child dying, you know, because you want it to like all match. So you just do a little dab on the ear, and then you want to do your neck and blend that down. And that also helps with my razor burn. And I don't do like my entire face. I kind of leave some edges so that like it like I just like, for like how pasty and pale I am, that like you can like really see through my skin. So if I just do a full coverage thing, I don't look like, like now, like I don't look human. It doesn't look like skin. So I kind of leave a little bit to chance. Okay, so we've been dabbing. It's okay that it's going over the lips because I'm going to be doing lipstick. And you want to powder after every step. So there is our base. Base camp. So I'm going to get my loose powder, which is my LA Colors Loose Finishing Powder, which was $3, $3.99 at CVS. It was the cheapest powder I could find. And they come with this little powder puff, and you kind of just put her face down, close it, and then shake it. And then the powder comes through this little screen and goes into the powder, so you're not like dumping the entire thing on it. It kind of moderates it. And then you just go. And the powder kind of like locks the base, the foundation, the concealer, whatever it is, locks it down. And the powder starts making it look like real skin again. See? I try not to like breathe all the powder in, because like clown lung, TM. See, like I didn't do like a full base here so that I can still flush a little bit and I look human. Also, everyone does their makeup differently. This is just how I do mine. Like by no means is this like the right way. This is just what I do and what works for me. And what I was taught to do by my best friend in high school. So I suggest, you know, get some makeup and see what works for you. You can like kind of learn like these like kind of basic foundational steps and then kind of just play around and like see what you like best. So I need more. And then you take a big fluffy brush. Get one of those big ass fluffy brushes. And then we're gonna just dust off the extra. Why is that wet? These have been dry for 2 weeks. Why is it wet? There's no water in these. Okay. More unanswered questions in my life. Perfect. Just kidding. Okay. I feel brushed and groomed. Oh. That part. Let's do some brows now. So now we start adding the pigment back in to look like a human again. So usually before I do any of this, I should have cleaned up underneath my brows, but I'm gonna be really picky about it and just do it anyway, and then just use my sponge to kind of just cover up all the redness that follows. And I use this like fine hair razor. You can get these at like CVS or whatever too. And you go with the direction of the hair. So like we're gonna go this way. The direction the hair is growing in. But sometimes I just get lazy and I go in every direction, or I get impatient. And see, that means I haven't blended this well enough. It looks crunchy. But I kind of clean up the shape of the brows. I clean up a little bit of this unibrow situation. You know, wiping off all the concealer that I just put down, because obviously I should have been doing this first. But hey, if you go like I'm going the way against the hair grows, you're gonna get an ingrown hair. So I need to try to lead by example here and do that. I was taught to never do it above because then it kills your arch. So I just do below and the unibrow. Also, don't pluck. If you hold up like a ruler, or like, not ruler, hold up your brush like that, like from the corner of your eye up, like straight up. You don't want to pluck past here because it's going to start looking wonky. But if your eyebrow comes over even past that line to like towards here, it's going to look like a unibrow. So that's the line. The Da Vinci Code. Oh my god, I really didn't blend this out. Oh no. Okay. One side. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just want to do it enough so you're not like seeing all the like crunchy shit underneath the brow. I want it to be clean. Because when you do eyeshadow, you'll see the hair through it, you know? You want it to be a blank canvas. Yes. Ow. Woo. This, like, not being very blended also means I need more water. And I need to, like, sponge it in more. It didn't actually go into the skin. It's just sitting on top of it and smudging and smearing. Okay. I could literally just keep doing that forever and ever and ever. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reblend. Especially now that I've shaved it, it's gonna get red underneath. So you're gonna see that come through. And the concealer covers that. So what I'm gonna do is dissociate and forget what I'm doing. Stare at the sponge until I remember. And then decide whether or not I'm going to add more concealer, which apparently I guess I am. See, like that. And then now I'm just gonna, now that this is, I'm just gonna get a little bit more water on this bitch. Squeeze it out. And now we need to really blend. You can also do like a little bit of like a, Also highly recommend using a real mirror and not just your phone. Because then, like, Instagram and the stuff, I'm assuming probably has some like built-in filters and stuff, or just like you're used to seeing a certain perspective. If you have a mirror, you're literally getting like the real tea, and you get a better sense of what you're actually looking like in person, or like what needs to be fixed. Because like I could like do my makeup like this, and without a mirror, I'd be like, looks great, and then I'd like turn around and look in a mirror, and it'd be like, oh. So we always have the voice of reason here to back me up. Ooh. See how that's much more blended? You're not seeing all the extra like goopy goop. Like you don't want any like kind of excess product just kind of like hanging out. Okay. Gonna repowder. And the powder sets the makeup, like I said, I think. Okay, brush off of the excess. Now we're circling back to brows. So get your poorly sharpened brow pencil. I don't use this like gel shit. If I was doing drag and I really wanted my like eyebrows completely like glued down so that I could just like foundation over them and they'd be gone, I would use this gel stuff. Otherwise, I don't like how it feels. It's very crunchy. It's like hairspray for your eyebrows, and I don't like that. So I was gonna say bareback it, but I don't know if that's the right term for make. Interesting. I just do that. This is like an eyebrow pencil. It's like $6 or whatever. This is Revlon Color Stay Brow Fantasy. I got it at Target. So I do that. And then it kind of like makes it look like there's more hair there and fills it in. And then you take your brush and then go blah. And you brush off all the excess. And where I smudged it. See, now it looks, now the hair is darker and more filled in, but it's not smudged anymore. Okay. Now I need to do blush. Okay. And then I'm gonna, just forget which brush I'm supposed to use for that. That's step one. I'm gonna use this one. Oh my god. So I had a bowl that everything was in and I just shattered it. So we're gonna be doing makeup with shards of glass. I'm just kidding, it's not like the brushes aren't in the glass. Well, let's ask the audience. We're good? We're gonna keep going. We're gonna try. So I'm gonna use Drench. I use eyeshadow for blush, because why not? I like Drench. It's a like pinkish tone, because I'm like very pink undertoned. And then I just do like that. The apple of your cheek. And then I do a little bit like as a nose contour. So I hold it like horizontally and I just go down the nose like this. And it makes the bridge of my nose seem thinner. See? Rhinoplasty. And then I do underneath here. And then I do, not that it always really matters, but whoa, am I losing hair? No. Okay, no, I just am not used to seeing my forehead that high up. For girls wondering if your hairline goes down when you start hormones, it does, but not completely. So this is all like baby hair shit. But I do still have like the whiteboard forehead corner. So I do a little bit of blush here too, and it kind of rounds off that. It makes your face look rounder instead of like flat Stanley. Now, I'm gonna need to blend that out a little bit. So I'm gonna get a just big fluffy brush and I'm going to just blend. See how it's like kind of like spotty? We want to remove any definitive shapes. And the hair wants to help. See, blended, not blended. And then down this as well. Yes, God. So now we're gonna powder again. We powder after every step. And you want to make sure you wash your sponges and your powder puffs and everything like at least like every week or two, depending on how much makeup you do. And basically just like fill up a glass with like water and a little bit of dish soap, stick it in, squeeze it, let it soak up all the water, squeeze it out, rinse it under running water, squeeze it out until there's, squeeze it out, let it soak up with water, squeeze it out, let it soak up with water until like no more soap bubbles are coming out. And then you just like put it in a window and let it dry. Or just blow on it until you pass out. So we are powdering down the blush, is what I've been told. And brush it off. in our Discord support group, one girl like did her eyeliner today and it looks so good. And I fear mine will not look that good. I will try, but you know, it just needs to look good enough from like this distance. Like I'm not going to be filming like up here, like when I film MTF School. So I like film from here. So like as long as it looks sharp enough and not smudged, I call that good. So now I'm going to do eyeshadow. No, I'm going to do highlights first. I'm going to have an internal discussion on what should happen next. Okay, we're going to use white eyeshadow as highlight because I don't have any highlight powder right now. So this is a really old like Walgreens palette. And I'm going to use this little like short and chunky brush and just go bleh. And then with this white eyeshadow, I'm going to do the corners of my eyes to wake me up. And then I'm going to do a little bit more under my Cupid brow, or no, what is it called? I don't know. Under the brow. See, look at that. Look at that pop. You're not seeing it on this side, but you are on this side. Yeah. So the light will catch it a little bit. And then I do a little bit, you do like the exclamation mark, which I learned from like, I think Trixie Mattel or someone online. You do like a blah, and then you do like a blah. And then it kind of gives your like a very snatched exclamation mark type thing. And then, is this the Cupid's bow? I don't know. I need to use chapstick as well. And we're gonna do under here, the lips, and then like a little bit here. And then I'm gonna switch to a slightly larger brush and dab it again. And then I want to use it on the very top, like right above where I did blush, is like a cheek highlighter. And then I'll do like a little bit up here and then a little bit on top of the brow. Marvelous. So let's get our blending brush again. Holy shit, it's almost 9. Blend. Makeup is very tedious, but it's also very relaxing and like a self-care thing. Because you're like making yourself happier or being creative or some positive good vibes shit. Powder. Me too, bro. So there's like two schools of thought with like eyeshadow. You can do your eyes first and then your base, or and then your blush and highlights, or you can do your base first and then your eyeshadow. Usually I kind of do my base and then like my blush and highlighter first, and then I do my eyes last, and then I do my lipstick. Okay. Okay. We just powdered. Eyeshadow. Whoa, I need more anti-dissociation self-care shit. Alex taught me to do this last week. Squeeze the base of your thumb with your finger, and that is supposed to like reset your automatic nervous system and help you lock in, because I have dissociative identity disorder, which is why my eyes look like they're about to cry while I'm making like sassy, like apathetic commentary. Okay. I've been doing this all day at work to try to like stay focused. Okay. But also having stuffed animals helps my inner child feel safe so that I can continue doing my job. Eyeshadow palette. I use this as like my kind of lid brush. It's kind of like flat and round. I like doing fresh, like a coppery kind of bleh. Oh, it's hitting pan, or it's not hitting pan, it's just old as hell and falling out. This is what expired makeup looks like, folks. Oh, who's sending hearts? Thank you. And then you load a bunch up on your brush and then tap to get the excess off. And then we're just gonna go over the lid. Also, for the people who are here, please vote on next week's MTF school topic. Check the pinned comment and just type in a number 1 through 5 based on which topic you would prefer. Today we did electrolysis versus laser hair removal. Yeah. We're gonna blend, so trust the process. It's gonna look a little spotty at first, and I need to keep reminding myself to use the mirror. Oh, now we're getting some pigment. Whoa, okay. We might need to calm down a little bit. Okay, so that's the base. That's the base of the lid. The garage door. Just one color. So now I'm gonna blend that. I like... this is a plastic brush. Notice how it's like kind of like... I don't know if this is like... This is either a better plastic or it's more of like a hair. And then I use that to kind of like do little circles. And see how kind of like chunky she looks? We're gonna blend it in little circles out. Whoever's clicking hearts, thank you. I've had a couple people mention Twitch to me. I am going to be exploring that soon. Please let me know if you think that's something you would be interested in, or if you use Twitch already. I'm not like really like a heavy gamer, so I'm either gonna just kind of do talking stuff like I do like on Instagram Live, or / I want to do Pokemon Online, because I had some friends give me literally like fucking thousands of like the online codes to rip digital packs, and I can do that for hours and like talk about it, or I can just do my makeup. But I don't really know the difference between like I don't really use Twitch, so I'm like, do people just do makeup on Twitch? I don't know. Or like, do you have to be a gamer to be on Twitch? I follow Vanilla Mace, and like, it looks like, I mean, I don't follow her on Twitch. I don't have Twitch, but like, the clips that people reshare, it looks like sometimes she's not playing games at all and she's just talking, so maybe that's okay. But yeah, I kind of miss doing Pokemon on here, but I feel like I was trying to do too much at once. So maybe just like kind of doing it on stream would be fun. Okay, so notice how we're getting fallout. Shelter 4. It's coming down below the eye. That's unfortunate. What we wanted to do is go out so it makes a wing like that. And I'll just have to like put highlighter or like some kind of brush off the powder or whatever under here, so that it's not, see how it looks like it's like falling down. Look at that highlighter. I look so snatch. Oh, I look like you put a safety pin on me and I pop. My good friend / coworker, we got these like pins at CVS, like they're the like partners of whatever fucking FIFA World Cup shit. So we've all these like pins that they want us to wear that like are like CVS logo and like the National Soccer Foundation or whatever. A pin fell off my friend Callie's lanyard, and then she like tried to put it back on, but the pin went through the side of the backing and went into her finger today. And I was like, and she's just like, oh yeah, no, that's blood. And I was like, oh, what am I doing? This is the base color? Yeah, no, I was just blending out the base. Guys, I'm sorry, like, doing makeup with DID is very chaotic because I keep forgetting, and I have to, like, keep trying to remind myself what the fuck I'm doing, because I will forget while I'm doing it. I kind of realized that, like, Dory from Finding Nemo probably also has DID, and, like, I feel very seen by that. Fish. Also, this is a fun comment. Someone commented on my YouTube, "You look so fishy." And I'm kind of afraid to be like, oh my god, thank you. Because, like, I never want to, like role model passing as, like, the gold standard. If that makes sense. So, like, I never want to be like, oh my god, thank you. I met my goal. Like, I don't know. So I kind of, and I get kind of dodgy about compliments sometimes. So I was like, oh my god, thank you. I love fish. So sorry to that person who, like, was just trying to be nice, but I don't know. when people say, oh my God, you passed so well or whatever, I just am like, I don't want to like virtue signal that, because, you know, I don't know. I'm definitely overthinking this, but like, thank you like for the compliments, but also I don't know. I don't want to like enforce like a passing law that like, you know, it's like, oops, sorry, executor, I just launched that bitch. That like, that success from transition is passing. Like, success from transition is whatever you want it to be, whatever makes you feel more comfortable in your skin. So I don't know. I get, also fishy can kind of be out of context a misogynistic term. So I kind of am also kind of like, I don't really know how to respond to that. Or like when people say like, oh my God, your voice sounds so feminine. Like, if I just say thank you, I don't want like girls who haven't done voice training to like feel like their voice isn't feminine enough. You know what I mean? Like, I never want to kind of like, I don't know. Anyways. Yeah. You know, you get, anyways. Right, we were gonna fix that part. So I'm gonna do a little powder over that fallout. Okay, that's a little less noticeable now. Voice of reason, voice of God. Okay. We're moving in the right direction. I hope. And now I'm going to do my crease. So I'm going to go back in with this one. It's round and flat. I'm totally with it, guys. And then I do quench. Just like a little bit of a deeper brown to like do the crease. It gives my eyes some depth, so I look less like a neglected hamster and more like a snatch diva with deep, complex emotions. So that looks like trash right now, but we're gonna blend it. And also, the best part about having hooded eyes is that you'll never notice this, because the second I go like this, it's gone. It's only when I blink that you'll actually see it. So let's blend that. And whenever you think you've done enough blending, blend more. See how that has some definition? It has some dimension. Versus that. Also, like, makeup takes a lot of, like, practice. So, like, you know, I think the first time I put on makeup, I asked my best friend in high school to, like, let me borrow some, and I, like, hid it from my parents and, like, tried it on at night. I didn't know what blending was. So I just kind of, like, did, like, extreme contour and then whites, and then was like, why don't I look like a woman? So it takes a lot of, you know, kind of learning and absorbing, you little makeup sponge. Watch those tutorials. absorb that info and then try it. Or have a good sis do it with you and like teach you, or do your makeup for you, and then you get to watch or kind of guide you as you do it. Okay. Voice of reason. Okay. Oh, waterline. So for the waterline, which is that part, I like doing black because then it gives my eyes some more definition and I look awake. Versus like very pale and like sad. So we're gonna go back in with this black. This is a very thin, very sharp brush, very small. So I'm just gonna like do that, tap off the excess, and then you're gonna hold it straight up and down and jam it right into your frontal lobe. And we're gonna do the little squishy wet part right there. Fuck, okay, I can't see. Sometimes it's better with a mirror. My friend Mel, when she does her waterline, she'll get like one of those like brow or like eyeliner pencil things, and I think she like takes out a lighter and like burns the end of it, and then it like makes it liquidy, and then you do that or something. I don't know. She did it to me once and I was like, whoa, you do your makeup with fire. I do not do my makeup with fire, I dare say. And you don't have to do your waterline. It's uncomfortable, especially if you're not used to it. And it does make your eyes hella water. Okay. So now we're gonna do eyeliner, and God bless, this part can like make or break the look completely. So I have this thing, probably like $7 or $8 at your drugstore. I'm gonna move that out of the way. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a 5-minute self-care break while my legs fall asleep. Because I'm pushing myself a little too hard right now. I will do chapstick. And then I will resume with my eyeliner once I feel like I'm grounded enough, because otherwise, if I'm doing it dissociated, it's like finger painting. What am I looking for? Chapstick. I have bananas and cream. I don't know why my lips are so chapped. It's literally like fucking June. And it's humid as fuck outside. Oh my god, there is literally shattered glass on the floor. Ooh. I feel like that should be the priority. What do I put it in? I have a plastic tray. Oh, that ruins the image. Let's count how much I destroyed this bowl. Okay. This is picking shards of glass off your floor is an essential part of any makeup tutorial. And the best part is I'm not going to be able to tell how many tiny shards are going to be in the sponges that I need to use. So am I giving myself dermabrasion? Am I, I don't know. Gonna trust that's okay. Always check. It's like, check those, your kids' Halloween candy for like, GHB and like razor blades. You got to check your makeup brushes for glass before you put them in your eye. This is exactly how I thought this was going to go tonight. It's exactly what I wanted, was to be but I'm doing this now because that went into my finger. The last thing I want to do is like bleed on live if I go to the bathroom, which I hope to do very shortly. Oh my god. My poor boyfriend walks around in here barefoot. He sleeps without socks on. And I don't either now because of him, but our poor feet. How are you guys doing? Are you having a good Friday night? But it is fun when I have like really crazy shit like this happen on live. It makes for some good reels to cut. So, it's all for the show. And the, tiny shards of glass that are gonna like, parade themselves through my veins like ants. all the way to my heart. Oh. Oh, right. I'm fine. The fun thing about this basket is it's just open panels. So if I set it on my bed, it's going to be in my bed. So I'm trying to like get as much as I can. Ugh. Oh, it went into my leg. Subscribe for more makeup. Okay. I'm gonna pause for a second, guys. I'm sorry. How the fuck do I do that, though? No. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna use the bathroom and just give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call that good for now. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, guys. So now that I've sweat, we're gonna do an anti-sweating tutorial. So I'm gonna go in with powder. Also, the sweat does recurl my hair, which does help. So we were still working towards our goal. And now it's a little bit safer, and I hopefully won't have shards of glass in my body. And as like mortifying and embarrassing as this is, I'm definitely gonna be laughing about it when Mike gets home. And I will make a funny reel about it. Okay. Gonna dab. What I should have done before sweating and doing a ton of stuff like that is setting the makeup. However, I forgot to do that because I was too focused on like the tiny shards of glass that are everywhere. Okay, I don't know where that one went. Godspeed. But I got through that without crying. I got through that without completely ending the live. I did the mature thing and just like, you know, take 15 minutes and fucking clean it up. Instead of literally trying to continue to do my makeup with shards of glass everywhere. Okay. So that was powder. So now I'm gonna just go ahead and set what's there and then keep going. So this is my NYX Matte Finish Fini Matte from CVS. That's definitely overkill. Okay. It's very dewy, but the matte finish means it should dry and look flat. I just used too much. That's why it's like really wet. Another thing they don't teach you in MTF school is that mirrors can double as fans. Just don't smash them against something. And that'll keep any makeup I have done from moving or like sweating off for 16 hours or until I just, you know, use makeup remover. Okay. And if you are new here, since I smashed a bowl and then picked it up and then dropped the tray with all the glass in it, please check out the pinned comment and vote for next week's MTF school topic. 1, 2, 3, or 5, depending on which you prefer. The top choice, which everything has 0 votes right now. So literally, like, you could choose next week's topic. You are the big winner. So, but it's funny. Usually most people join like between 9:30 and 10 anyway. So we'll get some votes. Just gonna do a tiny bit more powder. I'm gonna use a bigger powder puff. That one's like so like bleh. I'm gonna use this one. Okay. So we were at the point of doing eyeliner. So that is the next step. And it usually gives us like, it has this little like ribbon thing you can like hold with your fingers. That's very nice. Okay. So the eyeshadow is still there. I'm gonna do eyeliner. This is all my liquid liner from probably CVS. I don't know. Probably Target. Probably like $6. I don't know. This is the ink well. This is where all the ink is. And then this is the brush, which goes down and dips in. And you don't want it to be like dripping off. So you can like smear, scrape off excess. And then I'm gonna use a mirror for this part. And I'll turn so you can see what I'm doing. But I'm gonna start from the corner of my eye and make a line out following the top of my cheekbone. See, like that. So that's our guideline. Now I'm going to make a triangle. Not bad. Not bad. They just need a match now. Well, it could be worse. It could be better. But given the catastrophe that just happened, I'm gonna call that pretty good and go with it. And I'm going to do the hooded eye check. So if I lift my eyelid up, they don't separate. I kind of want the lines to be a little neater. Sure. Okay, let's do that. I could spend like the next 15 minutes fucking with it and like overdoing it, so. Also, I just love that there's like jellyfish behind us now. That's just... Sure. So what's gonna blend the waterline with the eyeliner now is mascara. Which is right here. This is my e.l.f. mascara from its Big Mood. I think it was like $6 or $7 from CVS. I'm guesstimating. Make sure there's not like chunky bits on the ends. You can just brush it off. Make sure it's nice and clean. We're gonna lean forward, say a prayer, and you're gonna like open your eyes. Hold it in front and then blink, 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 blink. And then you can kind of like wiggle it around. And then we get fallout because it's kind of dried up. And then we stop everything to try to get that before it smears. So I'm gonna go in with my sponge. Ah! Fuck. Oh, we're good. Oh, I can always do a little bit more concealer to kind of cover that up, but so that's the thing about mascara is once it dries out, it gets crumbly and then you get fallout. And that's why some people do their eyes first, because then you can just do the rest of it over and cover any mistakes and fallout. But I don't know. I prefer to do the base first. Okay. And if your mascara is really dry, then your lashes are all gonna all stick together and look chunky. And you want it to look like a butterfly's legs. Very nimble and free. My best friend in high school, yeah, also get it in your hair. That definitely helps too. My best friend in high school said to only do the top. I don't do false lashes or anything. If you do the bottom, it's gonna create more fallout, and also you don't really, I don't know. I was taught that you don't really need it, so I do the top. And once that dries a little bit, I'm gonna actually just set that now. So this is my matte finish spray. I'm gonna just do like one spray because I've already done a lot. And I have to sneeze. So I'm gonna try not doing that at the same time. That was right in my mouth. Okay, that was more than one spray. It's fine. And then I'm gonna not blink or do anything for like 10 seconds so that can dry. Because when it's wet, it can run and it can smudge. Okay. Blessed be, the last part that I do for my makeup usually is lipstick. And that's the kind of part where the tipping point happens, where I, you know, become possessed by the evil, you know, ancient aliens teacher. So, while I dissociate, let's grab the red lipstick. And move some of this out of the way. Move some of my brushes out of the way. Gonna undo that now. So this is definitely expired because it's gloopy, but makeup is expensive. And I use coupons to get snacks. So we're gonna just get all of the gloopiness off as best we can. I'm gonna do another line of chapstick and I'm gonna set that there. Oh, I love that you can hear like the frogs and the crickets outside. When we filmed the first episode of The Will of the Hunted last year, like it literally like I definitely like put like a green screen campfire and like some like campfire crackling audio, but like the frogs and the crickets, that was all like real environmental sound, and it just like fits so well with the theme, so it's very relaxing. Okay, that's as good as it's gonna get with the chapstick, so let's do lipstick. And again, another part where it would be smart to use the voice of reason. I do the big parts and then I like that. Yes. So without getting lipstick everywhere, we're going to do that. And then I'm going to take my washcloth and I'm gonna roll up a corner of it like that, twist it. And then I'm going to stick it in my mouth and close my lips around it and pull it out, and it's going to get all the lipstick that's inside my mouth and on my teeth. I didn't clean the floor with this, did I? The best part is I won't know until I watch this back. Let's use the clean one. I know I could just use cotton pads, but reduce, reuse, recycle. Make sure there's nothing on my teeth. And then I usually like to do a little bit of red eyeshadow just to top it off a little bit. So I'll do like a, what the hell? Let's use our kind of chunky flat round brush for eyeshadow. And I'm going to go in with Splash, or no, what's the other one? Party. Party, let's party. And then I'm just gonna do girl, this jellyfish music is actually really relaxing, and I hope it does not get me copyright strike. And I'm going to do one more pull through. Cool. Now I'm going to do one last setting spray. And yeah. I'm gonna use a makeup wipe, get the shit off my hands, and then I'm gonna make my hair look nice. And then at 10, I'm going to film some MTF school. And then catch you guys next week. Okay, that one didn't break, I promise. I haven't done like the hair flip in a long time. Because the glasses always get stuck when I'm like trying to take them off and put them back on and do the character. But then also my hair kind of feels kind of flat. no, it also just like really frizzes up my hair. I'd have to like really tease it to make it like work. So I'm just do day up for now. Okay. The hair's in pretty good shape. I thought I saw more broken glass and I was like, I haven't had any votes, so I'm gonna probably ask in the Discord for people to give final thoughts, and then I'm just gonna start filming. But I will be on here until 10, so until the bell rings, I'm gonna make sure I don't knock over that tray with shards of glass on it again. I'm gonna practice my lipstick safe straw. Okay, didn't fuck up the lipstick. May have fucked up the straw, but hey. I feel like if I like just drank it without a straw, I would just dump it down. And it would just, you know, do that. So I guess I'm just gonna start looking at the topics and coming up with some jokes and some things to talk about. Vocal feminization resources. Gender affirming makeup tips for beginners. Don't drop glass on glass and shatter it. Styling hair brows for social transition. I reviewed that a little bit earlier. I can pull from that. Choose outfits and color coordinate. And skincare routine. Cool. I do have a lot of Pokemon cards to sort through later and a lot of laundry to fold. So that will be good destimulation. Oh, I'm just gonna start putting my brushes together. Sorry. Again, if any girls are watching this on YouTube, please make sure you come over to Instagram for next week's study hall. It's at aj.offthehook. And from the Instagram and live, you can also elect. You can make your voice known if you would like to be part of our Discord support group. Please check out my friend Parcher's new song, Drag Queen Internet Hooker. Please check out The Will of the Hunted, new episode on Tuesday, talking about booking surgery consults and changing name legally in a purple state. If you need help, go to thewillofthehunted.com/resources. We have a long list of mental health resources and trans-Pacific resources, and also some resources by region of the United States. Yeah. This has been a very interesting live. I don't want to call it a flop. It's just had it's ups and downs, mainly downs, but we pushed through. I did not give up. I'm still gonna film MTF school. And yeah. Just gonna chill out. I'm gonna be here for 5 more minutes. See if anyone pops in. So. I'll show you my team on Byred, because I did charge my Switch. It was dead last week, I think. So we have, I'm currently training in the Pokemon Mansion. We have, Bug Juice, Mr. Lettuce, Raisin, Potato Chip, Cornflake, Mama Grape, and that's my team. And I've gotten up to Agatha in the Elite Four, but I definitely need some more training first. And I was getting kind of sick of just going through the Elite Four, like, over and over again to train. So I've been back in the Pokemon Mansion, because I also love the lore about Mewtwo and all the books that are all over the mansion, kind of talking about it. I definitely need to catch this Weezing. I don't have it yet, so let's do that. Bug Juice is going to use... No, because it's going to use Self-Destruct and kill itself. I don't have anything status to paralyze it. Maybe I'm going to throw an Ultra Ball and hope for the best. Right. Is it going to self-destruct? That's my next question. Nope, it's going to smokescreen me. Nope. Okay, it's using Sludge. We're alive. Fuck it. I'm just gonna keep throwing Ultra Balls. Oh. Yeah. There she blows! Bug Juice fainted. Rest in peace, Bug Juice. The almost food beverage that was never a beverage to begin with, and it's the chemicals we drank along the way. And on that note, I'm going to call it a night. So, please check out today's MTF school on laser hair removal, electrolysis, and stay in touch. I will see you next Friday. Bye, guys. Something, shattered glass.